The show opens with Miz Liv in the ring. Paul Heyman joins him and they complain about Kansas City before moving on to talking about Money in the Bank and explaining how the whole match and concept work. Miz said the men's briefcase winner would have no choice but to cash in on Roman Reigns. Paul reminds us that Roman has to defend the unified titles against Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle comes and said he is going to defeat Roman Reigns this Friday, but Heyman replied you can't beat Roman Reigns. He announced a stipulation: if Riddle wins on Friday he gets the title, but if he loses he'll never get another opportunity ever again. Then comes Usos, and we saw a match between Jimmy Uso versus Montez Ford, and the result of this match was Jimmy Uso wins by pinfall with a small package. Then we saw Seth Rollins' interview with Kevin Patrick. He says he knows it's hard to understand, but last week he had a real genuine reaction to Cody Rhodes, who is a virus. He's a virus, and in his WWE, it's adapt or perish. He is the greatest cash-in of Money in the Bank ever, and if AJ Styles wants to stand between him and a Money in the Bank contract, well, he might just have to do to him exactly what he did to Cody Rhodes. AJ Styles appears out of nowhere and decks him with a forearm. He tells him that's for Cody. Then we saw a match between Becky Lynch versus Dana Brooke for the WWE 24/7 Championship, and the match goes to probably a double countout. She gets on the mic and says she's got a lot of anger and this isn't about the 24/7 Championship. This is about the lack of respect she receives around here and how she's gonna win Money in the Bank. This time is different, she says, and she throws Dana into the barricade. Asuka rushes down and brawls with Becky Lynch, getting the better of her and sending her running away. Then we saw the women's tag team match between Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan versus Doudrop and Nikki ASH for Money in the Bank qualifying match, and the result of this match was Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan won by pinfall with a DDT from Bliss on Nikki ASH, qualifying for the Money in the Bank ladder match. Next we saw a match between Ezekiel versus Kevin Owens, and the result of this match was Ezekiel wins the match by countout. After the match, Ezekiel announced that Elias will return next Monday Night Raw. Then we saw the match between Cedric Alexander versus Montel Vontavious Porter, and the result of this match was MVP wins by pinfall with the Playmaker. Then we saw a match between AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins for the Money in the Bank qualifying match, and the result of this match was Seth Rollins wins by pinfall with a victory roll pin. Then we saw a match between Matt Riddle versus Tommaso Ciampa, and the result of this match was Matt Riddle wins by pinfall with an RKO. Then we saw Bianca Belair's interview in the ring. She says at Money in the Bank she's gonna show Rhea Ripley that she doesn't just talk the talk but she walks the walk, and she's gonna leave as champion. Rhea appears on the Tron and says she's all talk but Judgment Day speaks through their actions, and they do what they want when they want, and that's why they took Edge out of the stable, and Money in the Bank Premium Live event she will become two-time Raw Women's Champion. Then we saw a match between Chad Gable versus Mustafa Ali, and the result of this match was Chad Gable wins by pinfall with the Chaos Theory. Then we saw a match between Rey Mysterio versus Veer Mahan, and the result of this match was Veer Mahan wins by pinfall with a Bossman Slam. In the main event we saw a pose-down match between Austin Theory versus Bobby Lashley, and the result of this match was Bobby Lashley wins by popular acclaim. Afterward, Theory challenges him to one more pose, and squirts baby oil in his eyes. After he gets Bob good and wet he drop kicks him out of the ring and hops back up on the podium with his United States Championship and takes a few selfies, and the show went off the air.